Welcome to another fun and now very unusual episode of DC by Night. You start off back on planet Fortis, where Blaine magically appears, and Blaine's dragon is also the size of all the others. Everybody is now currently in the encampment just outside of Montan, which is now currently under the occupation of the Onyx Empire. They do now notice that there are, for lack of a better term, shuttles coming from orbit. And the best picture I can give you guys is picture the shuttles from like the Star Trek shows or movie. Not like Challenger, those kind of shuttles.
Okay, what shuttles are you talking about?
The shuttles.
Are you talking about
the shuttles from just the Star Trek shows, man? You know how when they always got in a shuttle to get off the ship?
Oh yeah.
A weird version like that. That's basically what you're seeing. I mean, they're slightly different, obviously, but just to put that in your frame of mind, so you're not thinking, the Challenger or something landing. No, these guys take off, land vertical. Okay, all four of you are there.
I'm actually kind of curious. And we're still flying, am I correct?
No.
Nope, you guys landed. You're now in the Venos encampment outside of Montan, which is a very large encampment. The shuttles are actually landing just outside of your encampment because it's the best place they can find to land.
Well, I'm curious.
Go ahead.
I'm kind of curious. I don't know if anybody else is. So I am going to get on my dragon and I am going to fly over there to figure out what's going on.
Okay. Jade looks at you and goes, "You can't walk? It's not that far."
Alright, then I might as well just walk.
I mean, you do know how to teleport.
Yeah, you could do that too.
You got a point, I forgot about that. I actually think about it and teleporting over to where I see the, what do you call them, spaceships, if you will?
Space shuttles, yeah. Okay. 2 points to Chris for reminding the other player about his abilities. As you just pop in, you get swords drawn on you.
Okay.
Just one of them just say something in a strange tone, a strange dialect, and they put their swords away. Guy walks up to you. I wouldn't recommend doing that without warning us ahead of time. These men have been on a ship for a very long time. They're a little jumpy.
Okay.
You do notice their uniforms are, the men getting off the shuttle their uniforms are slightly different than what the men on the ground are wearing.
So, what are you guys doing here?
R&R, we've just been on a fucking spaceship for quite a while.
Yep. Trying to think here first.
Giovanna and Blaine, you watched Robert just disappear.
Wonder where he went on
really lucky.
I don't really care where he went. He runs around, does his own thing.
Well, Jade is still with you guys. Jade did not go with him. She's close enough. She's not worried about it.
Well,
She
she's
knows
not
you
worried
guys
about it.
are
I'm definitely not worried about it. There's virtually hardly anything that can kill us. If he runs into something that can kill him, he's an idiot.
Well, it was meant to be then, I guess.
Y'all will be running the other way. Peace.
I am going to explore and see
Mind if I
by
come?
walking, not teleporting.
Mind if I come with you?
Okay.
I don't mind at all.
All right.
I just want to look around and see what's going on. See how the space
I will
shuttle's
tell you
working and
both.
everything.
I will tell you both. Right now, Vivinos will stay behind.
It's fine.
They basically tell you telepathically that if they're needed, they will come. Trust me. They already told you they would sacrifice themselves before they would sacrifice you guys.
Right.
Plus, they're hanging out with their families. So, yeah.
That's understandable. I mean, we did go to where the big ones are. So.
Mhm.
And besides, I want to explore them too. So I want
Answer,
to
Joshua,
get a grip
back
on
in
that.
bed.
Quickly, Ricky, what are you doing?
Slap boxing with Bane.
Okay. In dragon form, or do you have him take human form to do it? He tells you he can do it, by the way.
No, I was just gonna wait for him to look at me and then just slap him.
I had one of them bite you.
Okay, then the play fighting is on, because he goes after you.
That's all we're doing.
You guys watch Rahir and Bane go at it.
Ugh. Sounds gross.
Hey, at least
Wow, Holly, really?
I mean, he can split me open, but I'll still be alive.
Oh, God.
God.
There's a visual no one needed. Sorry for any of those who are watching to have that visual.
Human condom.
Oh, that's just nasty. Wow.
Wow.
I'll start spitting and I could be one of those douche condoms.
Oh, God, here we go. Oh, no.
Tangent
All
time.
right,
There's prophylactic for it.
Anyway,
Lady
Blaine
Giovanna.
is exploring.
Giovanna followed you, Blaine.
Yep.
Yeah. I am picking out.
You see... well, you guys... Now you see where Robert went, because he's over there talking to a couple of them. You see between about 10 to 15 different shuttles landed. Each one of them bears the mark of, obviously, the Empire, because you've seen it repeatedly. But they also bear a separate mark, which you're gathering is probably the ships they come from.
Okay.
Just messy.
Everybody just stops and stares at Mal.
You're right.
Go, Bobby.
Mouse is like the center of this little like video.
I'm sure he's not minding. He looks
He can't
content
hear it.
and happy. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
He's smiling, buddy. He's smiling. He's smiling. Hey, why didn't you tell? She's smiling. Good boy. Alright, stay down. Good
Yeah.
night.
Okay, Blaine's gonna get caught.
Good night. Good night.
He's like, but I'm happy, Daddy. Leave me alone.
Doesn't that look wrong?
That looks wrong.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And it gets worse. Anyways,
I promise I won't do it again, Mouse. Alright, come here.
alright, Blaine, who do you go talk to?
I am going to talk to some of the officers getting off the ship. I'm
Dude,
going to
okay.
ask them what they're doing here and what their mission is and stuff, and see if I can get answers.
One of the officers looks at you. He looks at one of the ground officers. They nod. We're here as interstellar backup. We're the other half of King Alex's fleet.
Awesome.
Does Robert hear this?
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And what is the whole mission for? I mean, are you going to attack, or are you just going to stand here until somebody gives a nod?
Wherever the king has ordered us to go. Right now, he's giving us a little R&R so we can relax. We've been cramped up in a, well, not really cramped, but we've been in a ship for a while, so touching ground on land is kind of nice for us. Once most of us are back, I believe there's already a few ships that have since gotten everybody relaxed. Once they return, they are to scour the current galaxy we're in for either more intelligent life or to see if there are other suitable planets for colonization.
Back soon.
Awesome. Alright, so your main objective right now is just some R&R.
Yep.
Alrighty, so I'm going to walk away at this point and keep watching Mouse jump up on cliffs, which is very easy. And go over to the main ship
Poor
and
Mouse.
find Robert.
You don't know which one's the main. You don't know which one's the main ship, but Robert's about 10 feet from you.
Alright, well, I'm going to walk to where Robert is and see if he finds out anything different.
Robert, when you asked, by the way, they did tell you the exact same thing. They're just there mainly as backup, mainly as air support in addition to the Venus, but mostly their objective here is to scour the galaxy for other planets that are either suitable or can be turned suitable, and they are to begin terraforming processes or mining operations, whatever they find, whatever the planet is, has the most.
Right.
Okay, well, as soon as
And I
Robert
actually
conveys that to
look
me,
at him. I actually look and just ask. I understand that you're here for a little R&R, and I get that. But you're also here for backup. Why is the king having problems with certain people?
Being the oldest in the family, he of course has issues with his siblings. Some of them. Others don't mind, but more particularly his second brother, he looks around, is an asshole, and followed in his father's footsteps, followed in the king's, their father's footsteps quite well, and actually is sometimes even more vicious about it. He is currently in charge of an empire called the Dragonstar Empire, which is on the other side of the universe. He
Okay.
has made claims. He has made claims that he wants the throne, but he will not go against his father because the one thing everybody is smart about is we are all terrified to death of his father.
Mm.
You don't go around challenging one of the top goddesses and managing to stay alive and not get fear from everyone else.
Hmm.
King Alex is nothing like his father. No. He may have the blood of his father, but I can assure you that he is nothing like his father. He has
Because
done
honestly, I
everything
thought
he
it
can.
was.
Go ahead.
I honestly thought it was the people that are down, and I point towards the one place that I was at before that almost arrested me for treason. I think it was.
The entire conclave has been arrested and put on charges of treason and corruption. In 3 weeks' time, they are to be put to death in the public square.
Mm.
So how did they find out about the treason?
Alex's investigation branch called the fuck, god, damn brain fart. Oh crap! I can't believe I just forgot that. Clerics, that's it. Wow, that just slipped my mind from it. His investigative branch called the clerics. They are very good at finding information out. King Alex himself has been speaking with various people and finding out that many of the conclave's leaders are using their power to their advantage, basically making the rich richer and the poor poor. In the Onyx Empire, that does not fly. No one is poor. Period. We have no homeless, we have no crime. What little crime there is gets dealt with harshly.
Mm. And I'm trying to think of a good question. This is not a
Blaine, you're
character,
there
sorry.
too. You can ask. That's fine. Blaine's there too. There's the creepy stalker. Hi, Jan.
Ooh.
Hi, James.
She got a cool picture.
Has she got a mic yet?
Chris is saying no Mick. Damn it. Blaine, can you think of any other questions? You see Robert kind of saying, he looks like he's looking for questions. You could tell the officer looks more like he just wants to get the hell out of there and relax. You see one of the, that you can, now that you look, you can see the difference between the two. You see one of the land officers approach, nod to the other officer who just walks off. I can answer any questions you have. That way it gives him a chance to
Well,
gives you a
Blaine
chance
is
to
going to
relax.
walk away. So he can do more and more. And he is going to go to the beach to check them out.
They're the same as they were. They haven't changed since the last time you saw them. They just relocated. That's the only difference.
So all of the baby mamas and daddies are over there.
Yep. They move as a unit.
Cool. So I have to learn how to fly my Venus.
Okay.
This is going to be very interesting for me.
Well, you're not sure how, but Silverfire has a saddle on him. And it matches his scale color.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to climb up and to the saddle and let's see how I go.
Okay. Make a Dex Athletics roll.
Okay.
Difficulty 9. And
Well,
yes,
I'm
everyone
gonna
else went through this too.
investigate
Everybody else had to go through this.
What was the difficulty?
9.
Yeah, fall off.
Okay. You're plummeting to the ground. What do you do?
Scream.
You find yourself back in the saddle. You hear your sword go. You're welcome. You really gotta learn that you can do that on your own.
What?
Teleport. So all I did is I just put you back on the saddle. All you have to do is picture in your mind where you want to be. And you're there.
Okay, well, back in the saddle.
You already are. That's where he put you.
Okay, now that my heart's like racing and I'm about to pee myself.
Yeah, you're quite a ways up in the air. There are other Venos flying around, of course. They're from the Onyx Empire. They're just doing random scout patrols or just flying around, maintaining the perimeter. They don't bother you. They don't get in your way or anything.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to do a loop-de-loop with my Vino. Gotta learn one way or another.
Okay.
Hey, asshole, you do that, I'll beat you.
Well, as you're doing a loop-de-loop, you come back around. You don't even notice, but you get hit and you and Silverfire are spinning. All you can see is a black tail briefly wave by you.
Okay, I'm going to grab a hold of Silverfire and concentrate real hard on being back in the saddle and straight up again.
You manage to stay in the saddle. Barely. That hit kind of blew you off track. But thankfully, the way you were going is when you got hit, it actually kept you in because of the momentum. You both Venos part ways. Yep, there's Bane. We're here. Are you on Bane's back?
Not yet. I'm waiting to see how
Okay.
Bane handles the both of them.
Okay. You see, it is Bane by himself. He's coming back in it. Silverfire to take up the challenge, and now you guys go into mock aerial combat. Basically, what you're doing is holding on for dear life. It's more of just a Venos battle at this point. I mean, you can try. You know that you can hurt Bane, but it's obvious they're not trying to hurt each other. Because you can tell there are a few times he's put his bounds down, and he noticed where he put him, and he readjusted. So that way he actually wasn't grabbing a hold of anywhere important. He is not hitting your saddle at all because he doesn't want it destroyed.
I know what Rahir's doing now.
But you guys just go back and forth. You're basically just practicing holding on for dear life because these two are, they're playing tag, they're zipping around, they're going after each other, and then they'll break up, and then they'll back and forth. And when they hit hard because they can take it. So it jars the shit out of you quickly.
Okay, well, I'm going to.
Does Blaine
start
see what's
off-
going on? I mean, does Robert see what's going on?
You just see what looks like a mock combat going on in the air because you notice a couple of the guys kind of look up and they're just kind of chuckling and laughing.
Hmm.
Okay, I'm going to slide out Silverfire's back, and I'm going to
Okay.
begin standing on the ground so I don't kill myself,
Okay.
and let them fight above me.
I'm gonna tell Bane to knock it off. It's no fun now.
Okay. As you land on the ground underneath them, you see them break off. You see Silverfire coming down.
Okay.
He lands. Leans down so you can get back on.
You know, Blaine, it looks like we're gonna have to do this the hard way with you.
Yeah, you appeared right next to Rahira. Robert, you did notice when they broke off and they got a little close, it was Bane and Silverfire going head to head. Then you saw Blaine jump off and then just disappear.
Hmm.
And then you saw the two break off. You see Bane heading back towards Rahira and Silverfire heading down to the ground somewhere.
Okay. And I actually look at the gentleman that says, I know you're here for rest and relaxation, so I'm just going to let you get to it. And if I have any more questions, I'll come back and try to see you guys and see what's going on.
They can answer it too. He points to the field infantry. They know just as much as we do.
Yeah. Right.
I'm going to climb
Have a
back.
good one. He walks off.
Thank you. You too. And I think of Jade just for the hell of it, and just trying to figure out what's going on with those two going on.
Jade tells you they were just, mock combat. Practicing. Blaine hasn't had a lot of practice with us. Bless you. A lot of practice on Silverfire, so.
Blaine is going to
And
climb back
it's
up
kind
the
of funny. I
saddle.
just
One at a time. Blaine, real
I'm
quick.
sorry.
Ooh. Sorry.
What were you saying?
Oh, I climbed back in saddle and
Okay.
start climbing again.
Okay, you go back up. Robert, what do you do?
I was actually going to say I was actually going to kind of talk to Rahira telepathically and say we should gang up on Blaine to get him more experience on what he's doing.
Oh, I'm not into men.
You know what I mean, the pervert.
You're the one that wants to gang up on a dude.
You fucking pervert.
But yeah, I'm gonna get on Bane, draw my sword, and tell him to rush for Blaine and Silverfire.
Okay.
And I am attempting to hit Blaine, just FYI, with my sword.
Fucking asshole.
It won't harm you. I mean, it will hurt, but it won't kill you. There's, like I said, the Guardians can't kill each other to defeat the purpose. The only ones who could would be the anti-Guardians, and they have no idea. So. Alright. As you're flying around, Bane, you're just, Blaine, you're just just, watching as, as the Onyx Empire has been doing this for, you don't even know how many years. You see them actually doing practice aerial combat. Yeah, they don't seem to be nice about it. They're going hardcore at each other.
Alright, well, I'm trying to keep my ass in the saddle.
Okay.
But I'm going to see if Silverfire can do tricks and stuff to do quick techniques and stuff like that.
He's like, sure I can. Just kind of boring up here by myself. And then just as he's about to finish that sentence, Bane's back again. He's got somebody in the saddle this time.
With the sword out.
Oh, yep.
Hey, with
the sword out.
Blaine's gonna draw his sword.
Okay.
And wait for the attack, because I know that's what he's gonna do.
Okay, well the Venos don't waste no time. They go back into mount combat with each other. By the way, both Venos who were involved in the battle do tell you if you tap them with the flat edge of the blade in a spot, they will act like it's injured. So that way you can learn how, just for that purpose. So that way they will make it harder for that, like if you hit a talon or something, they're going to act like it's gone, so they have to use, without it.
Well, I'm going to attempt to hit one of Silverfire's fucking wings. I'm correcting.
And I'm going to attempt to block.
Okay. You guys get engaged. You're going back and forth, trying to, knock the other one down. It goes on for quite a while. Robert, what do you do?
I was actually thinking about intervening and getting on.
You want?
Huh?
You can if you want. Nobody's stopping you.
Right. I was waiting for those guys to finish. No, exactly. That's why I run over to Jade, get on the saddle, and look at Jade and says, "Let's go find out what. I mean, let's go." These guys.
As soon as you hop in that saddle, she literally pushes herself off. So the air just coming at you is pretty intense. But you were already prepared for that because you knew what she was going to do. So she takes off.
And I look at her.
While you two are engaged, third dragon gets involved. You see a green one. You recognize Jade and Robert.
Hey, William. I'd like to teleport to the back of, Robert there and cut his saddle, and then go back to Bane.
Oh, that's just fucking wrong.
Chaos, buddy. Chaos.
It also does happen in combat, too.
And I do I notice that he actually came behind me? I mean, you know what I mean. Teleporting behind me.
Yeah, he came behind you there, bub.
And chaos. Your water, it's going to last forever.
You're sick.
No, you don't notice, mainly because you're too busy trying to, you were at one point trying to, because the three of you are basically going as if you're three different people, three different enemy factions fighting each other. So it's one of those, it's a free for all kind of. And then you and Blaine get distracted by, going after each other and completely lose sight of Rahira. And that's when you notice you start to slide sideways.
Oh, great.
And by the time you realize you're sliding sideways, you're falling.
And I have a feeling I already know who it is. I teleport to underneath Rahira's Venus and grab onto the saddle and unbuckle it just because of the fact that I want to be a prick.
Okay. As you're right hanging on underneath Bane, this is where it's gonna hurt. Both Bane and Silverfire collide against each other. You just became a guardian sandwich.
Both Venus are males, so tell me how it feels.
Yeah, they are. You just got squeezed in between two male Venus.
Jeez.
You better hope no one had a hard on.
No,
Oh my god.
Put in the visual of a dragon dick.
Wow. Wow.
Well, there's the whole human condom thing.
All I can picture is Arlie Hermie taking it by a dragon.
Great, now all I can picture is that.
That's wrong, because I can picture him yelling at him in a drill instructor voice. Is that all you got, sissy?
I turn into water and try to slip through.
Oh!
You're sick. Wow. You guys are so wrong.
You said it, man. You know where our minds are at. You happen to just see it in the right moment. He's talking about a giant dragon dick, and then all of a sudden you're like, I turn it into water and slip through. But
Well,
yes, you do.
Why did that come out wrong? Why did those words come out at the wrong time?
Oh my god. Woo. Oh. Now we're all gonna have that visual for a while.
Oh, I'm definitely rewatching this video.
Oh yeah. Holly, you have to see what you missed. And then she's gonna yell at us because now she's gonna have Harley Hermie and a giant dragon dick in her mind.
That's so fucking wrong.
You mean comments for dragging? For
That's just wrong. Wrong.
Oh.
oh.
All right, you manage to get out of the way now, thankfully. It's funny because neither Vina seemed to notice you were even a sandwich at this point. You appear back on Jade. Your saddle is back on Jade.
Now,
all you hear is
said was he reappeared on Jade. Which way?
Well, no matter what I say, it's going to come out wrong. So.
That's what she said.
Well, remember, he's like, I turned into water and slipped through, and now he's on Jade. Jade's the only female.
Well.
Oh my. Woo.
And through all this distraction of what's going on, I tell Jade to get up as close to it as she can to
Yeah.
right here's Venus. I can't remember what his name is.
Or Bane.
Bane, to get close to Bane, and I try to tap Bane's tail with my sword.
Well, you would have, but Silverfire apparently grabbed a hold of Jade's tail, which she goes, okay, I can't use it. Here's a problem. Imagine a dragon trying to fly with no tail. You saw how well it worked on How to Train Your Dragon. Imagine how it worked that way. Thankfully, they actually don't need it too much. No, they don't need it too much. And then, out of nowhere, you see another Venus intervene. Both Jade's wings and Silverfire's wings are tapped, and then one of Bane's is tapped before it takes off again. The dragons won't plummet, of course, because they don't want to kill you. Well, even thought of landing that hard could hurt. They all gently glide to the ground because they're now out of combat. You see the one that lands is a very, very large blue dragon. You see the guy who gets off. The mount... Man, Jesus, that's going bad.
Oh, yeah.
He climbs off the saddle. You see him pull out a sword. Looks at you two. Then looks over at Rahira. You hear Jade go, oh, that's a ground challenge now.
That's who?
A ground challenge.
He wants to go hand-to-hand combat on the ground.
Ooh.
Actually, he wants to go sword-to-sword combat because he pulled his out. You guys had yours out. That's good.
I am going to walk up and attack my sword. As long as it's not play.
Okay. As you go in, he quickly just, before you even know it, you're disarmed. The only thing that's stating you is the fact that the sword automatically returns. His helmet and visor are completely covering his face, so you don't even know who it is.
No, my luck could probably be out. Oh, okay.
I actually, what do they call it? I teleport behind him and put my sword to his back.
As you teleport behind him, he spins around and knocks the sword away. Just away from him. Good, you guys are finally getting the hang of that. Come on.
Your turn.
Oh, this is playful bantering. I teleport to my sword, grab my sword, and it
automatically comes back to you.
Okay.
Or you don't have to do that.
Okay, I keep on forgetting about that. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I think in my head for Sean to come back. That's what my sword's name is.
Yes, I know. All right.
No, I was talking to Chris.
As you concentrate on the sword, you see Blaine come in, and they start battling. You can tell it's obviously the first time Blaine has actually used a weapon for a while.
Considering that I was in the encampment and getting taught how to fight, that's other bit.
You're getting taught how to do hand-to-hand combat. Swords are a little different. But you notice he switched up a little bit. He seems to be fighting at your level. You could just tell because at first he was doing quick fluid movement, then he kind of slows down a bit and he keeps up with you. Good, good. Keep it up.
Okay, I'm going to press my advantage and keep going.
Okay. You see him draw his other one. Come here, big boy, and he waves at you, Robert.
Okay.
And he's still, he's literally still, he's still sword fighting with Blaine, one arm.
And just because I want to be a dick, I shoot a little bit of water at the ground, see if I can get that muddy enough to where he actually slips.
Okay. And you see him kind of notice he readjusts his stance a little bit. He keeps moving. You notice he's now moving out of the way. I saw. It does work, by the way.
What?
Right. I'm gonna rush the guy.
Okay,
Huh?
you can create about 4 copies right now. But that's draining you a little bit. You're not used to your powers.
That's alright. I'm actually gonna rush him. And at the moment that he would counter is when I'm going to pop up the copies. Or
Okay.
attempt to, I should say.
Alright. As he's fighting with both Robert and Blaine, keeping you both at a nice distance, but he's also moving at the same time. Robert and Blaine seem to notice, before this guy does, Rahira come charging in. Well, here's a scary thought. Several Rahiras come charging in.
Well, I was going to wait till I got closer, so if he went to counter me, all of a sudden there's going to be more of me than there is just than he originally thought.
Mm-hmm. Just as Rahira is about to do a strike, you see him disappear into the ground.
Whoa.
Where he was standing, you see just a black, shadowy circle.
Okay, I obviously missed something because everybody's camera froze. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, where he was standing, there's a black circle.
Oh, just as you were coming in for a strike, he dropped down, and all you see is a black shadowy circle where he was standing.
I'm going to touch it with my foot.
Okay. Feels like ground to you. You see it move out of the way. You notice it splits into about 10.
Oh, no.
Can, out of character, or not, I shouldn't say out of character, can Robert, since he's water, can he kind of duplicate himself a number of times too, or no?
Yes, it's guardian power.
Okay.
It's not just chaos, it's a guardian power. It will drain you. The more you do, the more it's going to drain you because you're not used to it. You're extending your power more than has been used so far. You've just been doing minor things here and there. Like I told Rahira, it drains him a little bit. It's just something you got to get used to. You will get back. Yeah, I mean, you'll replenish it pretty quickly, but you will have to get used to it. It's just kind of like an Aragorn where he tried to use dragon magic and it cost him. You're trying to use powers that you're not aware of yet. You just see cool things happen and you're like, hey, let me try that. Well, you're going to try it, but you're going to try it at a consequence. It means it's going to weaken you a bit. So when you go for a fight, it's going to be different.
Right.
So you have to remember, I mean, you can, yes. And if you concentrate, yes, there are several of you appear. Like I said, max is 4 right now. You guys would have to practice that for many days before you get higher than 4.
Mm-hmm.
Blaine, since
Well,
you spent the most... Hold on. Since you spent the most time in the encampment, Blaine, the one you're fighting, now that you got to see a better look at him, that's the commander of the Venus force. That's Commander Leodama.
Okay. Can I toss a tornado at him?
You'd be tossing it at black circles. He hasn't formed yet.
Okay.
And
Well,
they're
then when
spread
they
out.
form,
They're
I'll-
literally,
They're doing it.
yeah, they literally surround you.
Okay.
If that's the case, if it's just black circles, I try to see what happens by just drowning the black circles in water.
Nothing. You see 10 spots of water. Nothing.
If it succeeds, it's probably going to drain the shit out of me. But I'm going to attempt to pull him out using my code.
Okay. You manage to pull him out. He actually is about 20 feet that way. You see all the other black circles disappear. He's the only one to pop out. You see him kind of... You can see the helmet moving, so you're assuming he's nodding.
I'm going to throw a tornado at him.
Okay. You see it come up. You see a brief glow in between his bits of armor, and then you see it seem to get stopped.
I'm going to throw another one.
Same direction or different direction?
Different direction. I'm going to
Okay.
keep throwing them until I circle them.
Okay.
I'm going to call Bane.
You see... Bane didn't move. It's ground combat. That's all you... We'll go after its Venus, though.
Not always going to be able to fly, Bane.
If he takes off, he takes off. But we could try and keep him on the ground.
Yeah, true.
Go to dog form, Bane.
You switch it down to dog form.
Because he is not expecting it and seeing a bunch of tornadoes coming at him. What is it called? I summon up a major typhoon to
That's a lot of power.
try to distract him.
You go unconscious. You're pulling way too much power at once. For a major typhoon this far inland, you're pulling up way too much power. So you manage to get it off, but you don't see what happens because you go unconscious. Typhoon hits where he is. You can't see shit because it went off. As everything settles and all tornadoes are converged, you don't see anything.
Oh! I had an idea.
Robert, you feel a tingling shoot through your body as you wake up.
Is this a bad
Don't
thing
do
or
it.
is this a good thing?
It woke you up, it makes you feel refreshed. You hear, don't do that again. Not till you're ready for it.
Okay.
Remember, there are limits to your powers for now. You're still, lack of a better term to put it in terms you'd understand, you're still basically a fledgling in Guardian size.
Hey, Blaine. Fire another one of them tornadoes. I've got an idea of something I want to attempt.
Alrighty, I throw another tornado.
Alright, what I'm
Okay.
attempting to do is, as soon as it's thrown, is to open up basically a hole in front of it to take it in, and one behind the guy as an exit.
Good one.
Okay.
Then I'm going to keep throwing tornadoes towards that one.
Ooh,
Okay.
I'll wait until like the fourth one. So that way he's getting used to just, stopping those one, and then hopefully the fourth one, takes him by, surprise. We gotta learn to
Okay.
fight like a team.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell both of you now. You guys are using a lot of power. You're starting to feel really weak.
Hey, gotta find my limit somehow.
Yep. If Robert had timed it a little more and done less of his words, massive typhoon.
Yo.
If he didn't say massive typhoon, he would have been able to stay awake during that. But you guys are definitely feeling yourselves weaker, because you also got to remember you're also suppressed because it's not your planet. So that's another reason why you're limited in what you can do. You manage to get 5 more tornadoes out, Blaine, before you go unconscious. There's just the sword will basically, it'll keep you alive, but it's one of those teaching you lessons.
Okay.
Here you're getting damn close. But you do notice 4 go off. 5 go off total. On the 4th one, you open that door. It goes in, comes back out. You catch him off guard. It spins him up. But then he passes out, and then it drops, and he lands on his feet.
At that point, I am done because I don't feel like passing the fuck out. So I'm actually going to walk up to the guy and offer my, a handshake.
All right. You sheath the swords. He gives you a strong, one of those grabs you by the arm, not the hand.
Yeah.
It's one of those kind of, handshakes.
Do the same
Good job.
thing. Thank you. If you don't mind, I'm gonna actually collapse on my back and just lay there.
Both Rahira and Blaine feel that same tingling I gave to Robert go through your bodies. You guys feel refreshed, and you are awake.
Okay. I'm also going to offer my hand to his shoulder.
He does the same to you. Looks over at Robert. Antisocial one?
I was trying to wait. I wasn't trying to interrupt the ST. That's what out of character. I was not trying to interrupt the ST. We're talking.
Okay.
So I was
So
actually
you do the
getting
same
ready
thing
to
they
go
do?
over it. So, as
Okay.
Rahira did, I just say thank you for teaching us a few things.
You didn't teach us shit.
Oh, I've yet to begin to teach you.
Well,
Trust
he
me,
did
if I
teach me
taught you,
one
I
thing:
would've
is
kept-
not to do the typhoon so quickly.
I didn't teach you. He looks at you. I didn't teach you that. He looks down at your sword.
I'm gonna poke
I have
Robert in the
nothing to
head.
do with you guys coming. Yeah, I have nothing to do with you guys dealing with it. I just happened to see you 3 up there playing around. I figured I'd see how well you guys do when you don't have your Venus around, when they are basically put out of commission. Not bad. You guys should practice a mix between the two, Ariel, and then practice as if your Venus were not around, incapacitated, whatever. Will help you in the long run. Most people who have dealt with Venus
There's
riders
little
tend to
kids
go for
anywhere
the
around
Venus.
training. I'm asking him.
They're quite a ways back. Most of the people who have dealt with the Venus Riders will go for the Venus first, just to take it out of commission. It's one of the most dangerous ones to go against. So keep that in mind.
Mm-hmm.
As much as they are a benefit, they are also an issue.
A liability.
What you got to do is learn how to work together, both on the ground and in the air.
I'm going to ask that guy, are those little kids anywhere around still practicing their sword fighting?
They practice all the time.
Where are they?
Just outside the city. Apparently, some of the locals didn't like the fact that the kids were practicing with real swords.
They're getting stabbed.
So they,
repeatedly.
yeah, it kind of bothered some of the locals. So just to
Don't
prevent
they
any
realize that they
issues,
won't do the same stuff?
they actually go easier on the other races. The Ebon race itself are the ones who are a little more serious about it. Just because they can take the abuse more. The other races tend to get smacked or something instead, but it's still, typical. No offense, typical humans take it the wrong way, don't understand that each race has their unique setup. So he takes his helmet off, you see he's human.
Funny.
By the way, Commander Leah Dama, commander of the Venus Air Force.
Nice to meet you. Shake. I put my hand out to shake his. You know what I mean.
Yeah. Alright, well, I'll let you guys get back to it. I just had to jump in and see what you could do. Have fun, guys. Puts his helmet back on, straps back on, gets back on his, takes off.
I'm gonna go find the little kids training.
Okay.
I don't think that's too bad of an idea, and I'm going to go behind them. Search out the kids.
Alright. You see both Blaine and Rahira disappear since they're thinking about the little kids' training. That's automatically where they'll appear. Their Venus are still near you. They take on to the skies.
The Venus take off to the skies.
Theirs do, yeah.
Okay.
Now that that version of combat's over, they're going to go back to the encampment, and hang out with family, and do whatever fucking dragons do.
Actually, look at Jade and say, if you want to go back to see your family, that's fine.
She nods, takes off. You can still keep in touch with her. You can still keep in touch with her telepathically. You guys won't be that.
And I actually
Now, you don't know where they went. They
Right.
just disappeared from you. You did hear him ask about if the kids were practicing, because you were right there.
right.
None of us actually know how to use a fucking sword.
Yeah.
That's true. So I actually think I remember seeing the kids combating before, and I actually think
Well,
of
that
the
was in,
think of where the
but
kids
that
are
was
at.
in that was in that encampment. In this case, you luck out, and I'm just gonna say you appear there. You appear right next to Rahira and Blaine.
I'm gonna walk up to the trainer.
He looks. Yeah.
I don't know how
God
to
damn it! I told you. Get him, Sergeant. Sorry.
Well then.
One of the kids was dropping his sword.
How do I sign up for this training? And to prove that I have what it takes, could I see a normal blade?
Pulls out a dagger.
I take a deep
His
breath.
other blades aren't normal.
I'm going to take a deep breath and shake myself.
Ouch! Still fucking hurts.
Oh, yeah.
You're not immune
Well,
to pain, it just...
No.
Immune from pain. Okay.
Wipe the blade off, hand it back.
He puts it back. Very well. Do you two follow suit? Well, you don't have to stab yourselves to prove it.
Not following suit.
Yeah, definitely
You
follow
actually-
suit. But here's
You guys
the
actually
thing.
stab
no-
yourselves to prove it?
No. There's no reason to stab myself to prove what I want to do. What I was going to say was I actually, out of character, can my character actually shift to a child's height so it would be a lot easier for me to learn with them?
Do you plan on staying here for the years that it takes them to learn it?
You see Robert go into, he shrinks himself, literally, to the height of the kids.
For a Troyer, yay!
Now we can beat up Robert.
Anybody up for midget tossing?
And I look at right here and I said, I did it so these kids do not feel threatened by me.
Why would they
Yeah,
feel
bonehead.
threatened? Stabbed by people three times their size?
Yeah. Their drill instructors are actual adults. They're not trained any differently because they're kids.
They're trained because
I mean, you see a majority of the kids are of the Evan race, but you do see other races mixed in. Those who lower their swords too much for the drill instructors' eyes, that are, and they're not Evans, you see them get smacked hard with the flat end of a blade.
the only reason why I stab myself is because I want them to treat me like an Evan race. I want to learn.
And they will.
I'm gonna stab myself to show that I'm worthy to train.
He accepts it. Looks at the little one.
I might as well.
Oh yeah, that's really great. I might as well.
Gimme! Give me dagger! Give me dagger!
A dagger to him might be a sword.
He didn't shrink himself that small. But okay, do you go back to normal size since the other two haven't changed either?
Yeah, I go back to normal size. Fuck it.
Okay. And you stab yourself, you
And
prove him, fine. He throws you right into the group. He tells you for 3 hours straight you have to hold 2 swords out, and they don't let you use yours. They give you 2 regular ones. Well, Robert, you felt the weight of these swords before. It's
Yeah.
not light. But
Oh,
you see
yeah.
5-year-olds doing. Yeah, you see these 5-year-olds doing it. Now you know why they occasionally get stabbed.
What are we rolling?
That's kind of interesting considering what I chose my strength specialty for yesterday when you told us to spend XP.
Yeah.
I took powerful arms.
That helps. You actually keep it up a lot longer than they will. I'm not going to make you guys roll. I'm just going to say, how long do you guys stay in here and practice? They spend about, I'm telling you right now, they spend about 4 hours just holding the weapons. The entire time you hear the drill instructor saying, you must realize the weapon is just an extension of you.
I'm going to stay 8 hours.
Okay, well, after 4 hours, they go into actual, hand-to-hand combat and practicing with their weapons. So, I mean, they do this. I mean, how many days do you want to do this? I'm telling you right now, Blaine, you know that the ovens are in it for life, and they go through from the age of 5 to the age of 15, nothing but strict training. So they still have, some of these probably have quite a few more years left.
I am going to train for a week with them.
Okay. Rhaenyra?
What Rhaenyra is going to do, because, they, just to kind of help, he used to flailing a sword around as if it's his own hand. He's actually going to spend a week of doing 12 hours of holding the swords out, not using his power, but just kind of focusing on weightlessness.
Okay. Robert?
And honestly, with me, I can't say how many days or weeks I'm going to be because I don't know when I'm going to be called to go back to Earth because something needs to be taken care of.
We all have to just drop what we're doing and go.
Yeah. I mean, you guys will get a specialty pass because of who you are. So, I mean, you could practice for weeks on end. You could practice there for years if you wanted. And, if you have to go out, you have to go out. They understand. Technically, you guys are just guests. I'll let you think on that for a minute.
Right.
I will be right back.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to step up for a minute, guys. I think this is a good time for a small break.
Is he pulling on Ollie?
Yep. Yes, he is. They don't smoke in their house upstairs.
Hey, stalkers, since you can hear me, check Facebook. It's funny.
Hey! Don't think you're going in there without giving me a kiss. Yeah, I heard you. No.
John's pulling a Holly. John's pulling a Holly. Going out for a smoke.
Ah. How nice story. it would dawn on you guys that being who you are, considering you guys are basically the protectors of the planet,
Yeah.
that you guys may be able to work out a deal where, in a sense, no matter how much time you spend on Fortis, it doesn't refract in how much time is passed on Earth. And the worst they can say is, no, you're going to just have to deal with missing time on Earth.
I don't know where else to get.
I'm going to concentrate on Flora.
Yes, Rahira.
Flora. Well, Lady Flora. I have a small favor to ask. Since I know fuck all about wielding a sword, is there any possible way of getting day for day here on Fortis so I can train?
In other words, what you're asking is, you want me to basically
Same time and space? Yeah.
alter the portal so that at least when you guys return, you will have not missed a single day here on Earth.
Well, I wasn't going to that extent. I was just more thinking day for day. Instead of day for week, or whatever it is.
Got any of the shows?
Let me get back to you. I have to ask a favor of someone else.
Okay.
You continue practicing, whatnot, just working on whatever. A couple days later, you see a note appear beside the bunk you now have, addressed to you, Rahira.
I will take a look at it.
As you open up, it's in nice penmanship. Due to your newfound status and your requirement to be available if Earth so needs it, I'm willing to grant the ability to not let you lose a day on Earth while you learn your skills on Fortis. Signed, Kronos. Not Chronons, Kronos, God of Time.
Actually, for me, I think I will practice for about a week and a half.
Okay. Several days have passed. Several days have passed for everybody, as you guys are practicing. And like I said, right here, you got that note.
I haven't told anybody yet.
No.
Oh, come on, like I can be that easy and nice already. We'll let them freak out.
A week goes by, you guys are, well, everybody but Rahira is finally managing to hold the swords a little easier. Rahira, you have a couple more weeks before you think you're probably going to need more practice. Just because of your specialty.
I'm actually going to tell whoever's in charge that I want start to finish training. Whole regiment.
Sweetie, if you're talking to us, I can't hear you. I didn't mute you. You did. You just haven't unmuted yourself.
I've done that plenty of times.
What you typing? Okay. All right. He does tell you, you do realize it all depends on how quick of a study you are, but it could take several years.
Quick or not, even if I am a quick study, I would prefer to stick with the standard training, so that way I can hone what I am, what I learn quickly.
Very well. Robert, one night while you're just relaxing, the drill instructor comes to you. You want the same deal Rahira has?
And what's that, if you don't mind me asking?
Full training, no matter how long it takes.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Very well. Lane, you see the drill instructor walk over, talk to Robert briefly after talking to Rahira, then comes over to you. Do you want the same deal both Rahira and Robert have?
Yeah.
Very well. I'm going to make this a little easier. You guys spend the next 10 years practicing. You actually graduate with the rest of the children, who are now teenagers. You literally got to watch them grow up.
Robert, you do realize when we go back, it's gonna be like maybe like 100 to like maybe 600 years later.
I do realize that. Things are going to be changed when we get back.
Something like that.
Yep.
No, I'm just fucking with
Let's just hope nobody took over. Hey, wait a minute. I actually remember Rahira wanting to take over the throne.
Yeah, well, see, it was what, Saturday, Sunday, whatever day it was when we left? Yeah, it's going to be that day when we get back. Just possibly 600 years later.
Are you still thinking about taking over the throne there, Rahira?
Look, they remember who the hell I am.
Yeah, there's a lot of work that you did that probably has been forgotten.
They're not going to remember me after that long. Besides, we've been here for 10 years. We haven't even... It hasn't even been a day back home. And I grin and walk away.
What a dick.
So he just told you that all the years. He just told you all the years you just spent in training, you haven't missed a single day on Earth.
And didn't stay long enough for you to ask why.
And then he walked off. Yeah.
If you don't mind, if I'm the only one there, why is it that we haven't? Why is it that it hasn't changed? Because we've been here for a very long time.
We've been here for not even a millisecond back home.
Did time just pause?
No. Essentially, it's going to get rewound back to the point that you sent through the portal. It's still going to go on like normal there. I mean, they can't just pause it. I'm sure he could, but I doubt he's going to just pause it. Be like, all right, well, are they back yet? Nope. All right. Nope. All right. No. He's probably just going to rewind time and alter some things so we come back through the portal at that moment in time that we step through the portal. Still confusing? Good. Ask Cronos to explain it. I'm just guessing that. Just be glad I didn't become his guardian. I used my sword a week in Japan. That's all I'm going to say.
And actually, from all the stuff that's been going on, Robert got a little hungry.
You guys were
Gonna go find some food.
Yeah.
I know that. I'm saying right now he's still hungry.
Yeah, I was gonna say they didn't fucking starve you for 10 years. I mean, there were a few days where some of the other children got out of line, so you had to deal with, you know, doing shit jobs for many hours beforehand. Those kids quickly learned that the other kids won't tolerate it.
Blanket party. I don't care how old they are.
Ooh, they don't play around. They did teach you hand-to-hand, so you guys will get some ups on hand-to-hand and melee, because you guys are now very skilled fighters. It will dawn on the three of you that if the 15-year-olds can do what you guys can do now, what can the older people do?
Yeah, I'm wondering.
You guys just graduated the basic course. There's several other courses that you can go through. And the day after graduation, you are approached by the drill instructor. Individually. Well, since you want the full training, we have to go there, and since you guys basically have our traits, in a sense, I'm just going to say he tells you each individually, but I'm not going to repeat it 3 times.
Yeah.
What area do you want to go to next?
Just wondering if there is a. I understand that we graduated with the. Was it you said 15-year-olds?
We went through basic.
Yes, you went through basic. It's basically, for your information, John, it's basically you guys just graduated boot camp. You haven't even gone into the specialties yet.
I want to start specialty training.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering myself. Too.
Specify which one.
Which ones are there?
Advanced metaphysics, which he's not sure if you guys are capable of. He doesn't know your powers, so he doesn't know. There is the basic Venus riding course. If you so have the talent, you know you ride the Venus, so you could at least, you got to step up on the guys who are going into that. There is the Royal Guard program. He tells you straight up, if you do practice with the Royal Guard, that is a 20-year course on its own. And even then, you're not guaranteed. Well, you guys have a exclusion, but a majority of the students are not guaranteed to become Royal Guard members.
I want to go to that one.
Very well.
I'd actually like to try out the. Sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I actually like to try out the one on the battle on Narvinas.
Okay. He looks at you, says, "Go see Commander Leodama."
Okay.
Looks at you, Blaine, says, "Go see High Commander Dante LeQuinn."
I'm on my way.
He'll be found in the Royal Guard area. Rahira, what do you go for?
Metaphysics. Why not?
Okay. He tells you to go see Simone. Actually, he calls her Lieutenant General Simone.
Alright, I will go see her. Begin training.
Okay. As you approach her, Rahira, hey, you recognize her. She's the one who gave you your little toys at the beginning.
I will bow to her. So it's, 10 years of training stuck in my fucking head now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, you guys were disciplined very well. You learned, even though you guys have an exclusion to certain things, there is no exclusion to having respect. Because for people with these kind of ranking, you know damn well they've spent many years. Because normally you have to be a general within the infantry to even be looked at for the Royal Guard. You have to be a general for no less than 30 years. I mean, there are some exclusions due to the fact that Alex has changed things a bit, but when it was just the Evans, you had to be a general for 30 years and be highly recommended before you could even become a private in the Royal Guard. So High Commander LeQuinn, Blaine, that you're going to go see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's been in the military his entire life, and if he told you how long that was, you'd probably faint. And he is afforded all respect. He is also known as King Alex's advisor and King Alex's uncle.
Wow.
Yeah. It's the highest rank you can achieve in the Onyx Empire. That's what everybody strives for, is to be the High Commander. Alright, Blaine, you spend your very long time. Thankfully, Rahira, it's only about a 5-year training session for metaphysics. The first couple of days is spent seeing what the hell you can do. With you being Chaos and, a Guardian, thankfully, you have all the same, well, most of the same metaphysics they do, which is you can control, elements to a point. You are limited. Chaos is obviously your specialty, which she already knows. But you could do a lot of the other things. You learned a little shadow trick, is what they call shadow travel. Basically, it puts them into the realm of the shadow realm. They do warn you when you first try it. There are creatures in there that are nasty as fuck. They tell you, obviously, well, they kind of look at you and go, well, probably not you, but a majority of people who first travel into the shadow world, usually take a guide along with them because these creatures can kill. If you die in the Shadow World, you are dead. You're doing nothing but slipping to another plane of existence. That's it.
Looks like I'm just gonna have to run faster.
As you go see Commander Adama, Robert. He kind of smiles to see you. So you're one of some of the new recruits. Obviously, you get a little bonus because you already have a Venus. He points to Jade. By the way, during the 10 years, since you guys are around, you would know, King Alex is officially controls 95% of the planet. He gives all the races equal say and listens to them at all times. And true to his word, there are no homeless. Everybody gets a job.
Very nice.
He also teaches everybody how to fight, because his words are, if the men are away in a campaign and the city only has a minimal amount of guards, I want everybody in the city to know how to fight. The only prerequisite for joining the Onyx Empire is that you must serve at least a 10-year sentence in the military. And that's just to get you trained. That, and when you get out, there are plenty of jobs that they have plenty of jobs that are open. You know, there is literally no place that isn't hiring at all times. They also have colonized 4 other planets, and they are terraforming 3 others.
And may I ask, which ones are you terraforming and which ones are you under control now?
I haven't given them names. He shows you on a star map the 4 that are currently colonized and the 3 that are being terraformed. 3 that are being terraformed are on the outside. 2 are on the outside. 1 is actually closer to the sun. The 4 that are colonized are basically dispersed. You see, this particular galaxy has 22 planets.
May one of them be Earth?
Nope.
We got you.
Damn.
No, you guys are in a whole different galaxy. He shows where you guys are at, and he shows where Earth is at.
It's a shitload of light years away.
Yeah, like I said, 800 million light years away. So over here, you spend your 5 years in training. Yeah, that first trip to the Shadow Realm was quite interesting. Mainly because you saw creatures you only seen in movies. Apparently, the gods have a sense of humor because you saw aliens.
Oh.
That's where they exist. So you know at least the gods have a wicked sense of humor. Other than that, you found out that shuttle travel is a lot faster. Well, than normal walking, that is. You still have the teleport, which is like, I'm there.
You know. But sometimes you just don't want to disappear.
Yeah. Shadow travel is definitely a much more fun way. Blaine, you get the same, in a sense, the same training that Rahira is getting, except it's a little more detailed. Not only are you both taught, attack, what to use for offensive purposes, you learn how to use what you have for defensive purposes. Blaine, you are taught the rank structure for the military, because all Royal Guard must know it. You do learn that as a private in the Royal Guard, you were saluted by generals in the normal infantry. They salute first. Because a private in the Royal Guard has fucking earned that position. You learn the Royal Guard's entire purpose, and it's a mixed race Royal Guard. Their entire purpose is basically to protect the king, the queen. Yes, Alex did get married. And the king's children. He has 2 boys and a girl. That is their entire focus. And they are very vicious about protecting the kids more than the adults. The kids, of course, are Alex's children, so they get into a little bit of trouble. And the Royal Guard clean it up. They're glorified babysitters, but they love their job because they get to train the kids as well. So you, Blaine, are actually working side by side the 2 princes and princess of the Onyx Empire. They are not stuck up. That's the only good thing is they don't act their station. If you met them on the street and didn't know who they were, you wouldn't know that they were Alex's kids. I see a mouse in the window. See a mouse head sticking in. It's like, oh, I love it. Mousy! Say quiet.
You want to come in? From your side? Over, right?
Yep. Robert, you get more training with the Beanos. You are now really good at aerial combat. Oh, and they're vicious. Holy shit. You thought your playing around was bad. Whew. Now that they know you could take a beating, you get one.
Honey, can we take a 5-second break real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Come here,
All right.
please.
Break for everybody.
The counter earlier, I ended up getting two. And basically, I ended up going around in circles around the one. Back into the fucking, heavy base. I spoiled it.
I am back.
And Chris isn't back yet.
Oh, of course. And Holly still has yet to return. That must have been one hell of a mess.
Either that or she just got frustrated and went to bed afterwards.
Could be that.
That was over an hour ago, I think.
Yeah, it was quite a while ago.
What are you doing, honey? Your camera's bouncing.
Just tapping the laptop. There's bouncing.
Ah.
There it goes bouncing. And he's back.
get
Well,
water.
at the end of everybody's training, you guys are now more than well equipped to handle anything that comes at you. You guys can also go into the other specialties just to learn them, be more fluid at them, or at least Wayne, in your case, since you got kind of a mix, you can go to the Venus riders and practice and learn from them.
Definitely want to go back into the other ones also and get more training in them.
Okay. Again,
Actually,
it'll take about another 15 years for you to practice everything.
Okay.
Robert?
I actually want to go into learning more hand-to-hand combat.
Okay. So you go into the advanced course for the hand-to-hand combat, because you're already past basic. Right here, what do you do?
I was thinking of doing the full Royal Guard training.
Okay. Well, you take 10 years in the Royal. You take 10 years. Yeah, you take 10 years in the Royal Guard alone, and then another. We'll say about 10 years. Well, no, we'll actually say, Robert, you only spent about 4 years in the Venus training. It doesn't really take that long.
Oh,
It's mainly just they test you on any possible situation they've ever encountered. Any kind of war scenario they've encountered. That's what they test everybody on, and then they actually the commanders take time to think of other ones. So each class basically is a slight rehashing of what the others knew, and then there's some new stuff thrown in, so that way nobody ever knows really what's going on.
Hmm.
That way you can't cheat and tell the next class what you had to do. Not that they think that's going to happen; they just do it. It's just habit for them. So everybody spends about another 15 years. So you guys have spent about, let's see, 35, almost 40 years here. The city of Montan is no longer a small city. It is now a large city. It is no longer the capital. The capital is now the Bloodstone City, which is a huge fucking city in the middle of what is deemed as the Horseshoe Mountain Range. Accredited to finding that are a group of 3 unique individuals: Zeratul, Gabriella Jackson, and Ari. They went through some shit to get it, but they got it. And it is now the capital city. It is an entirely gem city.
Hmm.
The city itself is the size of Texas. It's a big goddamn city. But every building in it is made of what you would think of as a ruby. Walls, buildings, floors, everything. The weird thing is, even though a ruby can be somewhat see-through, the buildings are not. Nor is the wall. So it's kind of interesting how that happened. At the end of that 40-year term, Alex now has a full official power over the entire planet. Every race, even the ones that are deemed evil by standards, are given a say. The terraforming of the 3 planets has finished, and they are now colonizing those planets. They're working on terraforming some of the other ones, but they don't want to overdo it. So they're determining which ones they want to terraform next.
Right.
There really hasn't been any issues within the galaxy itself. A few random other spacecraft coming in when they shouldn't have. For Zerathul's purposes, the Protoss have no knowledge of where he's at right now. Other than that, once you guys have completed your 40-so years of training, they literally look at you and go, "There's nothing left we can teach you. Or else you're just going to have to learn on your own, figure out what you need to do." You guys are all taught how to change your various styles repeatedly, which is what the Ebons do, and what everyone in the Onyx Empire does when they fight. It is very handy, because then nobody can figure it out. They taught you how to go between Taekwondo, kickboxing, any kind of fighting style you can imagine. They taught you how to switch between them pretty quickly and still be effective. It's what makes them so dangerous.
I'm going to attempt something that's probably going to drain the ever-living shit out of me.
The good news is you guys have learned, now that you bring that up, the 3 of you now have a stronger tolerance. You can do more. But go ahead, Chris. Sorry. I just wanted to get that out.
Well, what I wanted to do was teleport to the portal, step through, and then think about Fortis and attempt to teleport without the portal.
You do, but as soon as you get back on the Fortis, you go unconscious.
That's fine.
That was a hell of a joke.
Do it.
You did. But you literally, as soon as you got there, you're like, "Yay!"
I'm just wondering if
does not refresh you, by the way. It lets you stay unconscious for a few days.
That's fine.
Go ahead, Robert.
I am just wondering, actually go up to one of the guards and ask them if there is a stretch of area that is not inhabited. I want to try something myself.
I mean, point to the map, various areas where there's not heard of people there.
Robert, are you going to Breakwater?
I would like to go to an area that is not inhabited, at least, say, 20 miles.
Thank you. Thank you.
And try to do the major typhoon again to see if I drain.
You get it off. You manage to. Actually, this one's even bigger than the last one. However, it does kind of drain you. You're not passed out, though. You're just drained quite a bit.
Mm.
Yeah, your Venos are now the size of all the other large ones. For those who've ever played D&D, they are the official size of an ancient worm. That's the largest they get. Which means they make you look really, really tiny.
They are 64 feet tall, minimum.
Minimum, yeah. These guys are actually a specialty branch, and they're actually about, I think when we officially chalked it all up, they were over 200 feet tall.
Nice.
So they're huge.
So when when everybody gets back, I need to really think of back to Earth. I really need to think of a bigger dog than a friggin' pit bull.
No, they could still.
For Jake to be
That's the good thing. As soon as they became adults, which was the third changing, when you were able to ride them, they got their breath weapon. They do tell you that dragons, the way they work is the full knowledge of their entire dragon race from the beginning is imprinted into their DNA. So, as a child, in their terms, as a child, they have all the knowledge that the dragon race itself holds. It just only gets unlocked as they get older and older, and then more and more becomes available. They do tell you, as in ancient worm form, they can take any shape they want, even human or any other race, and suffer no side effects from it.
Bane, I'm going to have to describe Viscount to you.
Yeah, their magic is ridiculously powerful now. At adult status, they got dragon magic. At ancient worm status, they got dragon magic that would make the highest mage in D&D look like a fucking, illusion. It's nasty. They do have the power to literally make someone disappear from time. They don't use it because they don't use it because that would piss Kronos off something fierce, and they don't want a god of time kicking their ass. But they haven't.
You lose all memory of that Venos.
Yeah, that would basically be what would happen. Do something like that, the Venos would cease to exist, and anybody who had any connection with that Venos would forget they ever existed. Kronos would completely erase them from time, which would suck. Hence why they don't use it.
But I've now figured out my weapon of choice with the sword. You ever played Soul Calibur? Have you ever played any of the Soul Calibur fighting games? You know Ivy with the whip sword?
Yeah.
That is Rhaegar's sword.
Nice. I love that thing.
Fuck yeah!
It's fucking beast swords, dude. That's fucking scary shit.
So between having the sword, having a Venos that is completely full grown, and all the training that we've had,
It's time to go back to Earth and do
when
our
we get
damn
back
jobs.
to Earth, yeah, we're going back to Earth and dealing with everybody. They're going to look like pissant stuff.
Oh yeah, there's not going to be many that are going to be able to touch you in power.
I already thought they were all piss ants anyways.
Oh, that's true.
Except for Monica.
Well, once you got Guardian status, they all pretty much became piss ants. Because then it's like, what are you going to do? Come at me, bitch.
Cool story, bro. Come on, let's go. Yes, I am going to describe Vital to a T debate because that's going to be fun.
Well, remember, you took out
Vital is-
Vital.
Dead.
You guys took him out.
Yeah, we took him out, but hey, Cash had a doppelganger. Fucking all of them had doppelgangers. Who's to say Vital didn't?
That's true.
True.
He gave it
And the
too
Guardian of
quickly and
Chaos.
too quickly.
What better way to send a city into chaos than bring Vital back?
Rahiri, you did learn that as a full-grown dragon, Bane has the power to go into shadow anytime he wants. Which literally, if you go to hit him, he can turn shadow, and they will literally go right through. And you did learn while you were riding him that it works for you too. If you were on him at the time, he can literally turn both of you into shadows. You're still there, you're just unable to be hit. The only thing that can hit you is one of the other Guardian weapons, or a specialty weapon, or what in D&D would term a Vorpal sword, which cuts into the Shadow Realm. Anything incorporeal can be attacked by a Vorpal sword. Those are very rare, by the way. So, you guys all get done, you go back to Earth. Because there's not much else you can do there. As soon as you all step through, the portal closes.
Finally!
So for them, it was only like a couple of months that it stayed open. It's weird because everybody's kind of staring at you because you just walked through the portal. You literally came out at the exact same time you guys went in. Trippy. You guys didn't see yourself that way. You just have a bunch of dumbfounded looks on the faces of people in front of you. Why are you back so soon?
I'm going to look up. Thank you, Kronos.
You don't know whether he nodded or not.
No, I'm just more doing that to add further confusion to the gathering group.
They really look confused now.
Don't mind us.
There's the portal's gone. Well, since the portal is now closed, I guess we don't need to sit up here in the middle of bumfuck nowhere.
Nope.
Since we're back on Earth, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try and focus my power to teleport them all back to their original homes.
Done. You only feel a slight tug.
Now that ought to confuse them even more.
They're a bunch of very confused vampires right now.
What the fuck?
Wait a minute. How the fuck did we get here?
Rahir's about to do something in Rahira fashion. I'm going to pull out my cell
Were you
phone,
gonna moon the townspeople?
and I'm going to punch in a certain FBI agent's phone number and tell him where the fuck I'm at.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Oh,
I know which
and-
one he's talking about.
I'm going to teleport Monica Black, since she knows what he is. I want her to watch this.
Okay. She looks very confused.
Hi, I brought you here. You know that ball you
was
that
in a
wasn't around
meeting.
making more volume? What?
I was in a meeting, but that's okay. It was boring anyways.
Well, I guarantee you, the second you left, the meeting just ended.
Probably. I am not going to make Chris fight himself. Because that would just be utter confusion.
Considering the one's an asshole and the other's a dick.
Yeah.
Fuck you. What'd you just say to me, fucking tall guy? Fuck you, short little motherfucker.
I will leave it at that point for now. I think that's a good stopping point. That way, so we can catch Giovanna up when she comes back, because she will have. I will see if she will agree to stay there that long, since she doesn't have to worry about it. See if she wishes to stay that long too. If so, then she will get the same training if she wants it. Obviously, they're going to be a little easier on her.
Yeah.
So I will leave it there. And